Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. So, January is becoming a very important year for me personally because it's a lot of milestones. I've lost people, found myself with some very key situations that have happened in January over the last couple years, but none quite like this. About a year ago, probably to the hour, somewhere in the day anyway, I purchased my very first AMC shares. Several of them, actually. I don't remember exactly how many I bought on that day, but it was the beginning of a journey that has not ended. A whole year later, one of the hardest years I've ever lived, because I've tried to hold on to these shares, add to my position, and ultimately forego paying other bills to assure that position was strong. In the process of that, I was working a job that I was a major strain for my brain to stay at, and I burnt myself out at that job and quit that job and couldn't bring myself to go back. Now, part of that was because the stock was so high at the time, and I thought we were in a position to say, well, you know what, we're good. But when you're dealing with corruption, you're dealing with individuals who are rigging the financial market for their own pockets to be aligned, you find yourself in a situation where they're using every bit of what they're capable of doing to affect the price of the stock. So as soon as I quit my job, the stock started to tumble and has been tumbling a lot ever since. Stock price, that is, not the actual circumstances that we understand with the information that we've gained and shared with one another in this Ape community. It's been a whole year. Those who are held in responsibility for stopping this process, for protecting us, have done very little. I won't say nothing because things are being done now, but very little to spare myself and the other apes from what we've had to go through in regards to how this has affected us in our own personal lives. They say they're supposed to be protecting us at the SEC. I don't feel very protected at all. Now, some of what I chose to do made life hard on me, and that's my own personal story, but there are millions of other people, apes out there, who have also had a hard time, whether they kept their jobs or not, whatever their personal situation is. They don't have the money that they should have because of this corruption, and that is enough of a reason to stay in this play. Tomorrow will be a full year from when they broke the law, cheated all of us, robbed us out of our money by removing the possibility for us to double down on a stock that was being driven down. They encouraged us to sell our positions, but they denied us the right to add to our positions. A year ago today, I did not know that was possible. A year ago today, I thought I was going to be making some money, at least a little bit, on top of what I put down, since it was starting to run up like GME. I had obviously seen GME do what it was supposed to do and didn't jump in at 60 like I knew I should have. Told myself to buy a couple shares at 60. I didn't do it, and it ran all the way up to 300. And I'd seen whatever was going to happen could be taking place with AMC after doing a little homework on what was going on out there. And at the time, I didn't know anything about Wall Street bets. I didn't know anything about Roaring Kitty or any of that stuff. I had never heard of any of that. All I knew was one stock was running up, this one was attached to it, and I had better jump in. And I was right. I woke up in the morning on the 28th, and it started running up in pre-market. Then that little button popped up. You know, I said that day that I would be a monster as it pertains to staying in this play because I felt cheated. In fact, as soon as that buy button was removed and that little message, just being, I don't really quite have the word, but it seemed like it was not very respectful to all of us, basically saying, you don't have no right to add to your positions, but you could for sure sell. That's what I took it as anyway. When that little message popped up at the bottom of the screen, I understood that I was being robbed. I understood that I was being cheated. And I knew full well that that would trickle down to every bit of everything. When you cheat one person in the financial market, you're cheating every single soul who's working out there. Because that money's going to trickle around one way or another. And the funny thing about it is, when you start really thinking about it, you start realizing that people aren't just rigging the financial market to align their pockets. They're rigging the financial market so they can fund something big. And that's when I realized it was my responsibility to find resistance, because I don't know what they're trying to fund. I don't think too many people even thinking along those lines, but I definitely am. And so I hold my shares a year later, having been drugged through hell due to how I've handled it personally and how things have gone just in general. I've added to my position, had to subtract from my position to get my car out of the impound twice. It was taken a third time just a few days ago. I'm not going to get it a third time because that would make it so that I have to cut into my position even more, and I'm not going to do that. I could very well go back out there and go to work, but to be completely honest with you, with the way my mind works, I probably wouldn't be much of a help to those trying to be served by whatever it is I would be professionally doing, because I don't have it in my heart to even do that anymore. That part was snuffed out of me over the last several months of working when I knew that my brain was too much for it. Or rather, the vice versa, it being too much for my brain at the time. So my own personal mental health struggles and the lack of help that I've gotten for them, my fault and my fault alone, and not attached to this play. I must be honest about that. But I'd be lying if I didn't hold some of what I've suffered through on a mental stance on the fact that I haven't had the money that is owed to me by those who have done what it is that they're doing here. And so I just wanted to get up here and say that. I've said it many times in various videos over the last year. This isn't a new thought for those who follow me, but it is something I want to document now. My mental health issues and things that I have going on. Yeah, I think it would have helped a lot if this thing would have squeezed already. I think I could have paid off some bills. I think I could have kept my vehicle. I think I could have maybe even gotten the proper help for my mental space. Maybe been able to help some family members to kind of help their situation, help some friends who've gone through some difficult times. There's a lot of things I could do with the money that I'm owed right now. But instead, I'm in a position to where I have to continue to sacrifice because they're continuing to cheat me, cheat us, rob me, rob us. Every single ape who's held a share for longer than a day has been robbed by these people, because that share is worth a hell of a lot more than they're allowing you to see it's worth. They're allowing you to cash out for. The corruption of this financial market and the circumstances surrounding are nothing less than criminal. And as I sit here in my household a year later, with my struggles and my concerns and all the stuff that I got going on, I can honestly say that they can be fixed right away if those who hold those other people who are doing wrong accountable do their jobs and stop this nonsense. Stop dragging their feet. Stop acting as if they're paid off themselves. I'm in a space of mind where I just want to document the fact that this is a year later and we are still dealing with the same thing. We are the last line of defense, apes. We got billions of dollars worth of psychological attacks coming at us. Billions. Because after all, trillions on the line. They're hiring all types of people. Good, intelligent shills, idiot shills. Shills being individuals put in place to simply deter you from knowing what it is that you're supposed to do and ultimately forcing you to sell your shares. No different than them taking the buy button away and then suggesting you sell your shares. They've put that in human form on every form you'll find in ape to deter new people from considering us apes, individuals worthy of investing with. Try to convince all of you that we don't have a brain cell in our heads, or that we're too stupid to do something, or that we're driven by American party, when we know damn well this is a worldwide thing. People who've never heard of Democrat and Republican own shares of AMC because they believe in what it is I'm talking about. So you ain't gonna be able to pin us against one another because of our differences in America, when this ain't even about America. It's about the world. And those who are taking the money aren't thinking just about America. They're thinking about stealing from every market available to do so. Your country, my country, their country, everybody. They want your money. They want your hard-earned, represented energy in cash form, so that they can align their pockets with whatever it is they want to do and not have to work so hard to do it. While you do whatever it is that you do to earn, provide, they're taking their piece of the pie from what it is that you're dreaming about, which is to hope for your money to turn into some more money for yourself, so that you can do whatever it is that your dreams desire. Do whatever it is that you're trying to do for others. They want to take that from you. And they have. Whether you realize it or not, whether you buy into the shillings or not, whether you think AMC apes are retarded or not, that does not change the truth. And please forgive me for using the R word. I don't mean to offend, but I'm striving to drive the point home. They think we are that low in intellect that we don't know any better than to know when we're being robbed. But let me tell you something. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I know exactly when I'm being robbed. And at this point, I just know that there's no one coming to help us. No SEC, no DTCC, none of these people are in a position to overpower an entity that is printing its own money. And every citizen involved in this needs to be really honest about that. Even if the SEC and all those guys have their best interests at heart, we know money is what can corrupt anything and everything. And it has. So the only line of defense that we have is to hold our shares and believe in this process, so that we can bleed them of the money that they owe us, not their money, our money. See, that's the thing. This is your money that they've taken from you. So you owning and holding your shares and snatching back what's yours is not wrong. And they've been trying to guilt trip us a whole year on that in various ways. Hiring various people to talk to us and get into our heads and really get us to believe in certain things, but hold only to a point, because you can't get back all your money, just a little bit. You only need a little bit, because then you can parlay it into other plays and all that other bull crap, while they can continue to this process for new generations to be cheated and robbed, just like we were a year ago tomorrow. And every day since. I'm in a space where I won't allow that to happen. If I have any breath in my lungs, any thought in my mind, I go on Facebook every day and I combat negative energy toward our stock, toward our community. Because that's what I can do. That's what my brain can do. I can't bring myself to do what I need to do to help myself in certain situations because of the uniqueness of my situation, the uniqueness of my mind. But what I can do is use the time that I have to speak to you guys and tell you what it is that's going on here from my perspective. Limited perspective, but definitely true perspective, because I am very much doing my due diligence each and every day to make damn sure that this is actually possible. And everything that I've heard from everyone that I trusted, and everything that I've read from everything that I've trusted, shows me that I'm in the right place. And that's the key word, me. I'm not telling you what you need to do. I'm not telling you to follow me, because like I said, I've been losing money for the last 6 months with this play. But I watched this thing run up 100% in one day. So with that being said, this thing is going to run. I'm not sure when. I would love to say tomorrow, but I don't know that. But what I can say is, any coin that I receive from this play is money due to me. Just like anyone who benefits from this play, having been cheated, deserves that money. This thing is going to go as far as we hold it. And whatever happens in the environment itself, the financial environment, whatever takes place, just know that they owe you, just like they owe me right now. And if you let them off the hook, you sell a little early, or you afraid about that environment itself tumbling, the banks tumbling, the brokers tumbling, all of that. You just remember that it needs to be broken down to be fixed up. So those who are afraid of things being broken need to understand that the foundation of it is rotten. I don't care how beautiful what it is that you've built is. You could build it in the most intricate, perfect way. If the foundation isn't solid, it will tumble down. So understand this, it's probably best to initiate that process yourself, rather than to be caught off guard by it and have it ripped up from under you. That's what an ape's responsibility is to fix this foundation so that whatever is on top of it can stand for generations, giving each and every soul an opportunity at a fair market, whether it be in crypto, stocks, or anything else that you put your money into. Because your money represents the hard work you've gone through. Your money represents your hustle. Your money represents whatever was given to you by people who loved you, who handed it to you, who hustled themselves. Your money represents your energy. Your money represents your time. And they're trying to take that from you. Trying ain't the word. They've effectively taken some of it from you. If you've put your money in the stock market at any time, they've done it. And we trying to stop it. So those of them who have effectively gotten to your mind tell you, oh, the AMC Apes are idiots. Oh, they don't know what they're doing. Oh, they're going to lose money. They're talking about today. They're not talking about where we're headed. They know this thing is going to turn around. All of them do. Because they're the ones that's going to have to pay up for it. It's going to affect things that you've never seen before. Things that you didn't even know could be affected by such an event will be affected by such an event, because those individuals who've been doing this have made sure that they have invested in everything so that when they fall, everything falls. Don't you get it? They designed it that way. Why would I fear of everything falling if everything has something evil in it? Like I said, the foundation ain't no good. As long as these hedge funds and these individuals are continuing the process of naked shorting and dark pools and all these different things that are being alleged and proven, as long as these things are taking place, they're going to have an opportunity to continue their process of funding themselves or whatever way they want to, and continue in the process of taking their money from hard-working citizens of this planet. Not all of the apes are stupid. Not all of us are afraid. Not all of us are looking to just get rich and walk away. Not all of us are unselfish and don't want to see other people get paid. Not all of us are sitting in this position with the idea that this could happen tomorrow or the next day or the next. I know this could take some time. It's already taken its time, because the people who are supposed to be initiating the process of us not being cheated don't appear to be in a position to do so. So, I wanted to document that. I'm proud of myself ultimately for staying in this play, for the sacrifices I've made on a personal level, and for the deterioration of my mental space, because all of it has led to a point. And that point is this: I ain't selling. Do what you gotta do. But understand this: my shares stay here. And if you want them, you're going to have to pay an absorbent amount of money, not only to myself, but to all of my fellow apes, if you want me to hand them to you. My name is BDF44, and I am an AMC Ape. I'm out.